today we're talking about processing, actually. There's a lot of talk about toxicity because the first three herbs that I'll talk about are distinctly toxic and need to be processed, and then the last two are not necessarily toxic. But I throw them in there because they're extremely common and they represent common processing methods, which I won't have discussed up till that point. When we talk about toxicity, we can go back and see what it says in the Neijing. Like yesterday, I'm always trying to start with all the oldest information possible and kind of give a comprehensive view through the last 2,000 years. So in the Neijing, it talks about the toxic drugs attack evil, the 5 grains they nourish, the 5 fruits support, the 5 animals provide benefit, because, I mean, who doesn't love their pets? And the 5 vegetables fill. So in Su Wen Treatise 70, it goes on, it gives a method of using toxic drugs to treat disease. Saying that, when you use the herbs with big toxicity, you should stop when the disease has been removed by 60%, moving to small toxicity 70, to when it's been removed by 80%, you go to common drugs, and when you remove 90% of the disease, you can move to foods, essentially. I think most of us have, if we practice clinically, we have some experience with this. Nutrition, let your food be thy medicine. At some point, when disease is very strong, it does require an aggressive approach with some probably toxic herbs, or herbs with such strong function. If you prescribe them to the wrong people, they will have a detrimental effect on their digestion in a way that makes it look like toxicity. If drugs are able to attack disease, one calls them toxic drugs. This is kind of a development, something like Coptis chinensis is not necessarily recognized as being toxic, but go ahead and decoct like 24 grams of it and just drink it down. Have a nice evening on the toilet. And if you're quite fatigued to begin with, spending the evening on the toilet is probably going to feel a lot like toxicity to you because you're going to be wrecked as a result of it. If the disease emerged from the inside, they cannot be treated with needles, cauterization, massage, or exercises. One must use toxic drugs. Of course. This is just talking about etiology of disease and acupuncture. In Chinese medicine, people fall into 2 camps. It's like sometimes if we want to paint a black and white picture, we can have acupuncturists that think needles can treat everything, and herbalists that think herbs can treat everything. And maybe there's another kind of balanced perspective that says acupuncture is better for external, exogenous evils, and herbs are better for internally generated diseases due to diet, lifestyle, and inability to control your emotional state, and the other kind of taxation issues. So going into the Shenong Bencao Jing, the original pharmacopoeia divides medicinals into 3 different classes: superior, middle, and lower class medicinals. It is said that the higher class medicinals nourish your destiny, essentially. They correspond to heaven. They're not toxic. You can take them forever. They make your body light. They'll boost your qi. They prevent aging. And these are some common examples, like the Ganoderma mushroom, Poria cocos mushroom, the Lingzhi and the Fuling. Ajiao, donkey acai gelatin, particularly if it's not made out of leather and full of toxins, which was a problem we had a few years ago. Tractyloides is famous. It's in the Gehong's Baopuzza as one of the mountain kind of spirit elixirs that the ancients will walk through the mountains and feed off of. The medium class medicinals are used as ministers. They correspond to humanity, and they may or may not be toxic. They treat the person. Somewhere between exactly treating disease and somewhere exactly between nourishing your destiny. These are medicinals that most of us are familiar with. Fang Feng is an Apiaceae, Sapochnicoga divaricata. Xijiao is a rhinoceros horn, which is problematic these days. Inchinhao is a type of Artemisia. Huangqin we talked about yesterday. Inferior class medicinals is more about some of the things we'll be looking at today. They're used as assistants and envoys. They treat disease. They're usually toxic. You shouldn't take them for a long time. In this class, we have purgatives like Gansui and euphorbia, and Shuizhi is a leech. Wutou is aconite. Tianxiong is aconite. It's a little aconite tuber that's shaped like a person, a little man, or mostly because it has significant genitalia. And Bansha, which we'll start with.